expectations on Buriram, an organization that has been world champion in other mobile esports coming into this tournament. So far they've underdelivered, and they might really underdeliver if they go out in this next game, knocking them out of the tournament entirely.
One thing though, looking at the picks for the Singed, is Flash Wolves, Lee Sin is open. This means Cookie can play Lee Sin, Camille, or Lee Sin Renekton. It could go either way, but so far Lee Sin is open because earlier it was banned. I think that's going to be important to propel that big early game that we keep talking about.
Yeah, we've dropped a lot of the jungle bans in this first round, but it's the Camille Jace combo instead.
Huh. Okay, so Jace is
I don't
very
want to hear that again.
Yeah.
She made it first!
No!
I was just doing the same noises!
I inhaled loudly. So, the reason why is because...
So did I!
Okay, there you go. Jace is a very 50-50 champion. If you don't babysit him in lane, if this is indeed a jungle Jace, I feel like it's much harder to execute to propel basically anyway. But look at this Kha'Zix and Corki not being picked up by BRU.
The presence of the Kha'Zix and the Corki mean that they're going to have both ranged damage and the Kha'Zix to pick off stragglers. And we'll say the second you draft Kha'Zix, the second you draft Corki, those are low HP carries. Those are low HP carries that can be targeted by Jace, that can be targeted by Camille on engage from Flash Wolves.
Now I'm expecting Flash Wolves to maybe get rid of some of those other poke champions that can pair with the Corki Kha'Zix combo, but they're going for the Lee Sin, so we would assume that means Jace in the mid lane, Camille Baron lane, and Lee Sin for Cookie.
This is insane.
What a kick, dude!
I know, right? This is, again, Flash Wolves basically saying, we're gonna get this early lead again. We're going to do the same thing with what we did in game number 1. And for BRU, this is basically all scaling. While they do have poke, this is a poke composition so far, Void Spikes, a lot of the rockets coming from the Corki. This takes a while to scale. This takes a while to get online.
The question for me, though, is Camille, Lee Sin, Jace, that's a lot of engage. You're looking at something like a Nami typically behind it, the Enchanter that can play at range and support that engage. But what are they engaging onto? Does Buriram have in their final 2 picks the capacity to pick a tank frontline? Yes, with their support in top lane, there could be, Darius, Garen, that sort of thing that can receive that pressure and thrive under it.
Honestly, if they're going for this route, I feel like Galio's going to be very important for Ethan in this particular draft, just because Camille, Hero's entrance, Lee Sin goes in, Hero's entrance. And it's so good if BRU is going to draft a heavy melee composition. It's so easy to punish melee, Justice Punch, taunt, everything with a big knockup.
Over on BRU, for what the Jess and Noel, I'm looking for team contributor tanks. I'm looking for people that can build space for this Corki, that can buy time in longer 5v5 teamfights for the Singed to do their damage, for the Corki to stay alive on the backline.
Morgana for Flash Wolves.
The Enchanter engage, like I was talking about. Nami is my favorite of these, but Morgana gives you more defensive options, makes it so that you can avoid being tied down by Singed.
Exactly. The Proto Belt Singed no longer as scary when you have that black shield on top. BRU have information, though, of this Baron laner right now. What do they want to put into the Camille? TJ, you were saying maybe a tank, something to be a front line.
Gallo!
Soraka's not what we were necessarily expecting.
Wait a minute. Okay, you go first.
I really like Soraka. She's been really powerful for a while. She got buffed recently, I think, with the Ardent Sensor items. She's actually really powerful if you go for that support build route. But she has no mobility. And you are picking her into Lee Sin, you are picking her into Camille. That is crazy.
This is insane. Everybody has a big gap closer. Everybody just, exactly, the Galio. We were exactly talking about this. And this is a very sad Soraka. If you see a Galio, there's a lot of people can basically deliver this Galio to that big knockup, and Soraka has nowhere to go.
This Soraka is just going to get squished. This is a crazy draft from Buriram. Unless they have some brilliant plan to keep the Soraka alive in teamfights, we will never reach the late game where she is so powerful.
The one thing I'll say, she does have a decent interaction with the Camille ultimate specifically. When Hextech Ultimatum goes in, you can actually silence the Camille, and then if Galio lands on that, he's rooted instantly. But
if you get auto attack, you're dead.
But yes, that's a big point, right? Because for Flash Wolves, it's very telling.
I know it was banned, but what is that? Well, the point stands from last game, Grandin, that at the end of the day, What the Jazz is on a good champion, especially within the context of the draft, but this champion is not going to allow him to roam. It's not going to allow him to make plays. And
you just said the ambulance Soraka. And then now, what does an ambulance do, Omo?
You know what, Grant? Oh no, if he was quicker on the uptick there, I think he forces a sum. Belloc.
What does an ambulance do, Amo?
Wee-oo. He does that.
It rotates, right? It moves around. It goes to its patience.
I think in the context of how BRU as a team have been playing every lane losing, what the Jets is actually going to be able to roam quite a lot because he's just going to be able to ambulance into the mid lane, into the top lane, and heal his teammates. He's definitely going to be able to ambulance the Triple V.
That's one way of looking at it.
Wait, what's going on? I think this is the first time the entire tournament that BRU have been winning a lane. Winning lanes in general.
Well, Bruce has not yet picked up his honey fruit, I think, so he's going to go back and pick that up now. Gets himself back up to pretty
Brandon,
close
let
to
me
full.
hope. Let me cope, please.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course. I'm just
Appreciate
trying to
that.
help you, remember that whatever happens, happens.
Well, whatever happens, happens. Like we said, this is elimination. Tournament lives on the line, and Flash Wolves on match points already. BRU will have to win 2, but so far so good. Off to a good start here.
Actually trading quite well here, this Soraka.
Mid lane's trading well, top lane, bot lane's trading well.
Ashni got some mana back, but Golden Feed running low with the Ignite does not survive.
Red Buff Ignite did that much?
Did that much. First blood on the board for Flash Wolves.
Honestly, I don't even know where the damage came from. And look at Flash Wolves. The moment you give them a lead, they transition it into the Baron lane. They're playing off your Sarah's push on this Jace. That's 2 waves from Noel. Just gone.
Call the ambulance, but not for... Wait, it is for him.
It is for him. He needs the ambulance right now.
Wait, I felt like I ruined it. I could have used that for something else later on.
Yeah, you kind of botched the punchline, but it's all good. I'll steal the joke later. Okay, not the worst. Noel still gets a sizable chunk of the wave, but I think he does lose out maybe about half a wave. They want to redive maybe.
Back for round 2, Bruce does not have his ultimate this time, but still able to get something done. A lot of damage along the Sarah. Noel still alive. He has a stone skin pass. It makes him very tanky. Cookie walks in now again. Ultimate picked up here by Bruce. Cookie does not have it, but it's an easy kill for Flash Wolves.
Noel left on an island for so very long. No one on his team making his way up. I think they thought that Noel was safe because they didn't dive him initially, but they went for the redive timing from the side of the Flash Wolves, and BRU were just forced to trade sides. Of course, it's not even close to being a worthy trade.
I mean, all jokes aside, we've talked a lot about what's been going. We haven't talked all that much about what's going to be happening towards the next parts of the game. The analyst desk has already mentioned it. You know, they need to see a way for them to get into the late game where Soraka is going to be strong. How do we get to that point?
Well, it's going well for Soraka. It's going well for Cocky. They have a pretty slow lane that they can play out. They have a bit of a gold lead. Hopefully for BRU, if they hit their timings this game, they will be very strong around the first Rift spawn. They're going to have a Singe running in with Protobelt. They're going to have a package. They're going to have Wukong, who despite not having any items, double Cyclone is still so annoying to deal with.
Yeah, but he's going to have to reach a point where he's going to still be relevant with the Cyclone, right? And we already start to see now a lot of pressure here by Flash Wolves, who are doing a very good job identifying. We can push in this mid lane, we can then transition to the top side.
This is really good. Really good from the Flash Wolves. They identify correctly that they have to play around the Jace. The Jace needs to maintain a lead in this matchup because if Jace ever falls behind, Wukong jumps on your face and you have no counter play. So they're going to try to redive this possibly.
They spot out Cookie, but very quickly, Bruce running over this turret, likely to fall. Flash Wolves looking at first turret for themselves. Soraka running over, but a little bit later, primary Cyclone used here. First setup done by BRU, chasing after Noel, loses a lot of health, but that's the power to Soraka. Still alive and fighting.
No more Cyclone though, that's a big team fighting tool gone. What can they do right now?
Ashni with the toss back, but Bruce goes under turret. Eason with the ultimate, but he goes into the back line. Flash Wolves not able to capitalize.
That's a botch on the timing there from Eason, and Bruce. Eason a little bit impatient, a little bit too hasty with that one. Good news for Flash Wolves though is that play costs you nothing. You can reset, you still have your timings for the next objective spawn coming up in 30 seconds. Relatively even right now. Let's see how BRU are gonna approach this.
So just for clarity, what happened there was Eason wanted to use his ultimate when Bruce jumped in, but the hashtag ultimatum before Bruce was able to land, Eason had already channeled the ultimate, and so because Camille's untargetable, Eason was not able to find the right target. This is what we talk about with timings.
Exactly. Now, BRU, they do have the setup here. They do have the package here, but they need to be proactive. They need to find the timing because with Cocky, you are on a timer. Package is gonna run out in about 15-20 seconds. They need to do something here.
Triple V looking for a flank angle, trying to force Flash Wolves away from the Rift Tail. They're deciding that this is the objective they want to try and go for. Eason's over by the pit in the eye brush, spots out Triple V. I don't think Flash Wolves have
Yeah, he's
means to
good.
capitalize off of this. They still get first turret without Rift Herald.
Yeah, BRU need to be decisive right now, and that's the problem. They're being anything but. They need Noel to rotate. They need Archony here. He's already low health. Turret's already dropped, and now you're going to start the objective. Package about to time out too.
Flash Wolves see this happening, and they know they can fight this. They're not going to go through a trade. They decide this is the opportunity for them to come through. Package going to be used early on. Over by the back. Cookie jumps into the pit, steals it away. Eason there to back him up, and they're able to find the Kate, knocking back Archie. Archie trying to run away. Just pops the ultimate, gives a little bit more life over back to BRU, but Bruce holds them in place. The Hextech ultimatum will take him down as well, as Triple V will be in it with him.
They trade a kill. Golden Feet for Bruce, but they lose the Rift Herald. Koki getting into the pit, stealing that one away from right under the nose of Golden Feet. Nothing they could do there. Problem here is package timed out. It's kind of what we talked about.
You needed to use it.
Yeah.
Better down than not at all.
Yeah. Good job from Noel trying to zone out the back line, but he had no backup, no package to dive in together with him. That's the issue. Timings have been the problem for BRU.
And as they run out of mana, Flash Wolves weren't able to finish off those kills. Might have been a different story if they did, but BRU being able to recognize that took a very good fight on their part.
This is so iffy for BRU. They have no Cyclone, Grandin.
Archony, an interesting toss back, but Eason's going to be nearby, gets a taunt onto Noel. Noel's going to start backing away. Flash Wolves taking control around the river and the dragon in process.
But they have to just back away from this one. BRU have to give it up. They have no spells available, but the good news for them is Flash Wolves are not contesting it. Flash Wolves are not finishing it.
Sarah could go for the turret, but he decides to back away instead.
Yeah, playing it safe here, doesn't want to take a risk. He doesn't have the control over the tri-brush. That means that BRU could approach from that angle. Flash Wolves, they are slowly getting an incremental gold lead across the board, from side lanes especially. That's where BRU have not been doing a great job on answering. They haven't been bleeding out in the straight-up team fights, but Flash Wolves have been out-bombing them.
Golden Feet on the dragon once
Cyclone
again.
is
Flash Wolves going to be nearby, wins the war, taunts in the pit. Cyclone comes through, Noel gets a big knockout on the first use of the Cyclone. Second one comes through as well, but Flash Wolves try to back away. Golden Feet will secure the dragon this time around. But there we go, Ysera jumps in to the skies, brings you in and gets you down. BRU pick up the dragon, but they lose Noel. Archony burning down low, but picks up the Hunting Fruit and
They're
survives.
going to lose the mid-turret as well here, Grandin. It's a 1-for-nothing. You get the dragon, but you trade your mid lane turret, and some might argue that it's more worth it than a Cloud Dragon. Mid lane tier 1 gives you so much control on the map.
And you still have that Rift Town, so you can afford to use that later on as well.
It's a very rough situation for BRU to be in right now. The upside is they're bleeding slower than they did in the last game, but that's not enough.
And this is where BRU is strongest, right? They have spells that perform incredibly well around neutral objectives, around these choke points in the river.
But still, right, they barely managed to take the dragon. They still lose the team fight.
And Flash Wolves, they still also have tools that do very well there. I mean, you have the Morgana, you have the Galio giving you the crowd control, and then afterwards, Ysera and Cookie just very quickly able to output damage, take you down.
Rough situation for BRU to be in. The thing you got to consider here as well is on the side lane later on. Bruce, I think, is going to be unmatched. He has such a gold lead over either one of the solo laners on the side of BRU. 2K over both Noel and Archony. That's going to be very brutal.
Rift Herald being used here to try and pick up the third turret. Easton spawns out. BRU, Golden Feet starts to use his leap to dash away. Bruce trying to hold him down. The hashtag ultimated, but he's still alive. Archony gets the shoulder fling toss as Bruce is knocked back away from BRU.
They want more.
Cyclone used again. They're trying to pop this one. Archony held in place. They weren't able to find it. Topped up the foe. BRU fully reignited. They have the chance to win a fight here. Jess flashes forward, gets the silence onto Flash Wolves. But there is no follow-up. Flash Wolves get to disengage.
It's so close yet so far. Flash Wolves doing such a good job of pushing and pulling, disengaging when they knew the fight was over. And BRU, they were so desperate for a fight win. They were so desperate for any sort of win in what has been, frankly, a depressing series for them so far, that they committed so deep, over-committing. 4 flashes burned there to try to get a kill, but they couldn't find a single one, Grandin.
They don't have the same kind of hard crowd control, right?
No,
you have stuff like with the Soraka, you will be able to take these extended fights. We saw what happened. BRU topped back up to full. They had a chance to win the fight, but it's on Flash Wolves to have to continue pushing, pulling the trigger.
Frankly, the Soraka has been very effective at keeping BRU topped off and keeping BRU in these team fights, but it hasn't been enough for them to win any team fights.
Pace of the game going to slow down just a touch as Flash Wolves have picked up every objective worth taking at this point of the game. They could extend in for the inner tier turret, but it's going to be risky, and so they want to take their time. They want to set up for the rest of the map, continue to build and accrue a goal lead. You can see towards Cold and Feet's side right now, he has been having some issues. 0-2 in the game, not able to find his footing. Archie caught out this time around. A good combo here by Flash Wolves to pick off the mid laner of BRU.
And don't Flash Wolves just look so much more in sync here, Grandin? When they make a play, it's a play like that one. They jump on you, they one-shot you, they're gonna take you tier 2 here as well.
Rip Herald.
Second one of the game. Didn't even notice that one, huh? Oh man, they want Jess.
Isolated away from the turret. Eason's gonna pop his ultimate. The turret going down to Flash Wolves.
Yeah, well, forget what I said about them looking connected. That one is a bit of a misplay. But still, Flash Wolves are doing such a great job at running the map. BRU, you have to respawn on every single side of the map. No way it gets a charge up. Cold flushes that one.
Leaps in.
But the fact that that nearly happened just shows that BRU are so disconnected on the map right now, Grandin.
Well, they managed to prevent it in the nick of time, and so
Sure.
maybe that's what they're aiming for. They got to play on a razor thin edge.
Knife's edge here.
Yeah.
Well, that definitely worked out.
And BRU have to keep that one going. Really claw back against Flash. The Flash was looking so dominant. They know what they're doing. They've come back in here refreshed and understanding their opponents. An opponent they faced off time and time out. Having done so much research for them before, that research now playing off.
100% paying off here. Flash Wolves look a card above right now. They are slowly bleeding out BRU. It's not a flashy game. It's not an explosive game, but it's one where you never have a doubt that Flash Wolves are in control of the game state.
I mean, Bruce has gone from playing the Zaya to playing the Camille in 2 different games. Incredibly different playstyles.
Yeah, it's just really simple. If you want to know how they're lane swapping, how they're assigning the champions, just look. Which one's the carry champion? Bruce is playing that one. 100% that's the case for Flash Wolves as this tournament progresses.
I mean, Cookie could be doing a lot here. We've seen how well Chaz is able.
Well, yeah, but jungle champions are different. If it's a solo lane champ or a marksman champ, and it's a carry, Bruce is gonna play it.
Sure.
It's Bruce and the boys.
It's
right?
simple map. It's a foregone tale. Nice pick off onto Sarah. He's silenced here. Eason trying to come in to save his teammate, but Sarah likely to go down. BRU not able to finish off that first kill. Eason pops the Gargoyle Stone Plate, picks up a lot more health. Flash Wolves survive through the initial pickoff.
And this time, the healing is on the side of BRU. The war of attrition will favor BRU. It's looking good for them. They have no outs, but still.
Archie, once again, gets the toss and looking for this kill. Again, might be able to find Bruce, but Bruce won't be able to flash away.
Man.
Escapes with a hook shot. BRU not able to hold down a kill.
And BRU just cannot finish a kill. We said the war of attrition will be on their side, but look at Jess. He has no more health to keep healing you. A gust will kill him at this point.
He'll find a way, Omo. He'll find a way.
Dragon
being picked up here by BRU.
Cookie.
But Cookie looking for the steal. Goes into the pit by Cold and Feet that gets it once again. 2 Dragons over to BRU. Now they fight for their lives. Fight for their chances. And it's BRU with a chance to win it. And they take down 2 members of the side of Flash Wolves. 1 more player. Bruce goes down. A triple comes across for BRU.
And I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay, what a way to die at the end of that one. A little anticlimactic there, but BRU with 2 dragons, and let me tell you, it's all Soraka. That was all Jess. He's not playing a carry, but the wee-woo ambulance still comes true.
Can you do that sound effect again?
No, I'm not. I'm done. That was horrible.
No, that was great.
No, but look at this. He's so low health, and he still manages to count the heals here with me. Okay, 1 here onto Cold and Feet. That one's going to be important later. We'll come back to it later. The fight comes out, whatever, doesn't matter. We're just looking at Soraka. All this doesn't matter. Silence comes in, doesn't quite find Cookie, but still doesn't matter. Second heal comes out, that's the 3rd one. He gets a 4th one onto Noel. He trades his life as well. Bruce will kill him.
Noel lives because of that.
Yeah, that's a good support right there. Solo queue players, take a hint.
The 4 heals to keep BRU alive. Team very happy in the back. Flash Wolves might be able to trade for something here. Package gonna be used. Triple V trying to isolate away Eason, but Eason's still very tanky. Arshni also looking for a pickup, but it takes down the Galio in the top side.
Things are finally starting to look up here for the side of BRU, but you look at the gold, and they're still down 4,000 or 5,000 gold. Flash will still have win conditions here. Black Shield, so good.
Instantaneous.
Yeah. Locking knows exactly what he's doing, and when we say he's one of the most stable player on the side of Flash Wolves, there's a reason for that. In a team of stable players, he's one of the most stable.
I always heard you say that all game, Obo.
I love him.
Well, you'll say it right now.
What?
I haven't heard you say he was one of the most stable players.
I said it when we were introducing Locking back into the draft. I said he's so stable.
Oh.
But
you didn't say that he was one of the most stable players.
Well, I'm saying it now. I'm saying it now. He's one of the most stable players in a team of stable players, and that's what we love from the Flash Wolves. We still have win conditions here, Grandin, right? It looks a little bit rough because the last couple of team fights have been so clutch for BRU.
Honestly, both sides, right? It's difficult to tell exactly which team is able to win. Flash will still hold on to the gold lead, but it hasn't been able to grow for the past couple minutes.
Yeah, but the gold lead is where it really matters. You look at Ysera maintaining 3,000 gold over Noel. You look at Bruce maintaining 4,000 gold over Archony. These are your side laners. These champions are going to split push you to death as the game continues. Good news for BRU is Cold and Feet has caught up to Cookie, and Corky has a bit of gold lead. But Triple V needs to now step up and carry because the burden is on him now. You can't rely on your big brothers to do it anymore, and it comes down to you this game.
Well, what we do see here is BRU with 2 dragons and Infernal Drake spawning up next the Elder Dragon for this game. If BRU are able to take this dragon like they have the last 2, well, they might just stand a chance to win this. Flash Wolves need to prevent that at all costs.
And Flash Wolves have had some luck with stealing objectives as well, right? Cookie has not been bad with that at all, so you got to be very, very careful on the side of BRU. He will find an angle. If you flip that, that could very well be the game.
Flash Wolves setting up in the brush, will spot out the vision.
Yeah, luckily for BRU though, there's no reason for them to check this side of the river right now. If you see everyone on Flash Wolves off the map, just be a bit careful.
No one really showing themselves. Top wave being shoved in. Bot side, Bruce is going to be nearby trying to cut that wave. Once again, looking for a pickup. Eason left alone. A chance for a kill. Eason blocked on his Justice Punch. Gets killed here. A big flip back onto Locking. Noel's still alive at this point. They get a heal once again. Soraka doing wonders for BRU. No one will die.
Wow. It's all the Soraka, isn't it? The engage was good, no doubt. Noel and Archony working in tandem there to catch off the Dragon Lane.
Look at this Warmox, providing them so much healing in the mid side. They continue to fight. Triple V running out of mana, but his turret will go down.
Bruce is just determined to end the game on the side lane, and he could very well do it, Grandin. He still has a 5,000 gold lead. Sundera, Bok, and Howlbreaker now for good measure. He's coming in for the flank. Flash Wolves want to fight.
Cookie with the Guardian Angel. Bruce coming in over as well. Has the hook shot. Decides not to go in.
Bruce was alone there. One glue trap could have spelled the end of that one for him, but Archony not quick enough for the uptick there. They're forced to back away right now, BRU, but they are happy with the game state. Mid tower finally broken. Gold lead, well, still in favor of the Flash Wolves, but a little bit closer now.
Elder Drake in 20 seconds, where games are won and lost. Package up for BRU, and so they will pick it up. Potentially a game-winning team fight here.
And we've been talking about timings all game long, all series long, and this might be the timing for BRU.
It might be yet again Eason, the one that they find, but Bruce very quickly joins into the team fight, re-engages with the rest of his team. Flash Wolves knock back. Cookie pops his Guardian Angel, well, not his Guardian Angel, but his Hourglass, trying to stay alive for now. Flash Wolves start to back away. Golden Feet leaps in, but will not be able to find a kill.
If Triple V had Zhonya's there, he should have just gone in with the package. He's playing very conservatively, but now, BRU have an angle on the Dragon. Archony wants to find a pick.
TP picked up here by Cookie. He gets a TP back in again. Archony finds a pickup on the Eason. Eason goes down. The first pickup here for BRU. Flash Wolves very quickly disengage.
Eason does have the heroic entrance, but he's on a 40-second death timer. Package is going to be taking it off soon as well. If you want to start it, it's now or never. BRU, do you want to flip this?
Elder Drake up now.
Package is gone.
Package used by Triple V. Bruce is nearby. Dark Binding does not connect.
Look at Cookie on the flank.
A pickoff is deadly here, Omo.
Archony's zoning, but he's zoning on the wrong end.
Noel moves forward. They want to finish off the kills first. Bruce has to start running away. Triple V nearly finds the kill, but the Dragon's still there. Golden Feet wants to pick this one up. Cookie over the back line. They need to take down the jungler first. Lee Sin needs to go down. Dragon down to 3,000. Triple V has to decide. Do we go for the jungler? Do we go for the Dragon to take down Cookie first? Over on the other end, they force away Flash Wolves. BRU with the other Dragon pickup.
I should be happy about that, right? That we are getting a close game, that we're getting a possibly 3-game series. But the way BRU played that was so hesitant. They were not decisive. There were multiple chances for them to go. There were multiple chances for them to finish. And they hesitated at every possible chance. At the end of the day, though, they even out the gold lead. They secure third Drake and Inferno Elder at that too. But pay attention to the sequence of events, Grandin. Look at Cookie here. He's got a good angle, right?
I'm watching Cookie.
He's got a good angle. Noel
Yeah.
does a good job at zoning him off. Cold and Feet does a good job of keeping the dragon leash. But now Cookie realizes it's do or die. I have to flip the coin. This is all good. But the moment this gets popped, finish the dragon. It's 3K.
They decide to go for the jungler first and pick up the dragon in the end. BRU with 3 Drakes over on their side. We said this could be potentially a game-winning team fight for BRU. Now finally, gold lead. Less than 1,000 for Flash Wolves.
And I gotta point out something to you. For BRU fans, you will be very heartened to see that what the Jazz on the Soraka is now full build. Roll up,
Wow.
Warmox, you are good to go. Genuinely,
The
you are
last
good to go.
chapter for the extra mana too. So you're
Exactly.
done. You're basically pack it up, we're done, boys.
You know, you don't have health potions, you don't have mana potions, but you're good. Because you've got Warmox, you've got the Staff of Flowing Water, you've got the Roa. You're kind of a beefy boy. You've got the Jonias as well if Camille ever tries to engage on
I mean,
you.
TJ said that when we saw the Soraka get to the late game, it was going to be
Yes.
strong, and it is strong.
It is.
The question was how would they going to get there, and now we've seen how BRU.
They're gonna start this, but they have to turn. They do not have package.
Flash Wolves looking to pick this one up. Bruce on the bottom side of the map. They need to isolate someone. That's the Black Shield coming across, locking once again. Pops his Hourglass to stay alive. They finish off the first
Nice.
kill. Bruce matched by Noel on the bottom side, so BRU get to do what they want.
And Bruce is trying his best right now in the side lanes. And I think he will be able to do
Archie
it.
gets the rocket belt, gets onto Ysera. Ysera's Guardian Angel popped. Noel holding his
Oh
zone
my
against
God.
Bruce, and Bruce cannot end the game. And so they're poised to
Could
take
have
down
went back.
Ysera. A little bit more time is all they need, and they go back
Oh,
2-on-1
no.
against Bruce. Another kill to BRU.
A heartbreaking game for Bruce there. He's trying his best. But if BRU can send 2 members off to your side lane to kill you while still winning the team fight, then the game is all but over, Grandin.
Flash Wolves need to find a miracle play back in it as BRU finally
They can't. Bruce is dead.
pull ahead with the goal lead. 10 seconds up on locking. Can he stall the game long enough? Fortification will be up as they pick up this turret. So
The kick clears the wave. That's it. That's good.
BRU have a difficult time ending the game after this turret goes down.
Oh, they could do it. There's a wave again. But they're going to play it safe. No need to risk it. Your tournament lives are on the line here. Just take it step by step.
They go
You've
for
all
the
but
one
won
side
the
turret
game.
instead. Taking a small lead where they can. Finally, there we go. Goal lead
It took a while.
back over to BRU.
It took him 21 minutes. But they did it.
And once again, Arshney looking for a pickup. Might be a little too over-aggressive. Noel stepping far forward. Eason.
Oh,
Dimash
no.
gonna catch.
Oh,
Triple
no.
V! Triple V might go down here if they take down the Corky. Damage gone for BRU, but Noel's gonna keep them alive, hold them in place. Triple V use the Valkyrie to get out. Noel sacrifices himself for the team.
But this Soraka has just been the MVP for BRU, keeping them alive in a situation where BRU could have gotten wiped, should have gotten wiped by all means.
And Flash Wolves, they know the game plan. Take down Triple V. That is what you need to do.
Well, actually, granted, the game plan is to take down What the Jazz, but failing that, because it's kind of hard to when Soraka's in backline, then sure, you take down Triple V. You got that? Note that one down, Flash Wolves. When there's a Soraka in the game, you always kill her first. And look, Jess knows that as well. He knows he doesn't need more healing items. He's got enough healing. What does he need? He needs to stay alive. And he's building for that. Frozen Heart, I believe, will be the next item coming in for him, and that's going to be a huge pickup too. No,
There
man.
we go. The catch on the Triple V. Who's gonna go down? That's the pickup that they needed. That's what I was talking about, Omo.
Look, Brandon, I'm trying my best not to be harsh here, right? But if BRU end up losing this game, if they end up getting knocked out of the tournament off a pick like that, that's going to haunt you.
Flash Wolves start of the Baron, but they know this is going to pull the attention in from BRU. BRU over by the backline has Noel. Popping the cycle, looking to take them down. He still has Guardian Angels. He gets one more chance at live. Golden Feet still alive.
It's all
the
Golden
damage
Feet.
to get it
Better,
done.
better.
A triple kill coming across. Give it over to Golden Feet. He runs you down so quickly. The Quadra. Golden Feet hunting after Cookie. The pentakill for Cookie. For Golden Feet.
They know they've done it. The flashes come in for BRU. They lose Triple V, but it doesn't matter. Soraka keeps them alive, and Golden Feet picks them off one by one.
And BRU draw the series 1-1 against Flash Wolves.
You know what, Brendan? That was more like it. If we're gonna see a WCS team kill another WCS team, let it be in a game like that.
That's what we need to see from BRU. The Soraka, turns out, works well against a team
No,
that
it
wants to
didn't
skill
work
lane.
well. it carried the game, Grandin. It was 1v9. It looked fantastic.
Garen and then Singe. So the tanky melee champions in the mid lane, is Bruce able to match that? Because we know Bruce plays these kind of anything that fits the comp. He can play pretty much any champion, but it's not working against Archony, at least in this game 2. Game 1 was a little different, but maybe a pivot is what Flash Wolves need.
I think that my big problem was there was no way for the Camille to get in. We'd oftentimes talk about the Camille as engage. In a composition like that, you need somebody to kind of shepherd the Camille in to create enough chaos that the Camille can get in. This is oftentimes why when you see engage compositions built around the Camille, they're also playing with Riven, they're also playing with other characters that can dive alongside them. I think the theory here is that Bruce is enabled by the presence of the Lee Sin, enabled by the presence of the Jace, but they were never able to engage simultaneously and cause enough disruption you could get that 1-2-3 snowball you're looking for, where it's engage, followed by the heroic entrance, followed by the Camille. We never saw that wave connect.
And the difficult part is that even though they want to get close, get into the fight, a Wukong has strong engage, but is also very